Divorce is something that we never thought that we'd consider.
In my eyes, divorce has just never been an option.
But at some point, you have to face reality.
How do you fix something that you don't even know how to fix?
We're definitely not perfect. We've always had, our issues between us just in our entire relationship. We came out to the ranch with an idea of fixing it up, for Jason's grandma and stuff, but we've been through so much these past 100 days. It's just tested us in ways that we never thought just in ways that we had not been expecting.
So we kind of found an opportunity to come out to the ranch for 100 days. We kind of needed some time to ourselves, kind of being isolated, kind of having a project that we could work on together and hopefully build our relationship. And luckily, my family was open to us coming out here. I don't think they knew to the extent of why we wanted to come. I think they were very open to us coming out and working on the ranch and stuff, and just having this opportunity to come out here and be isolated with each other. We were really hoping we could bond and fix problems that we had and really work on our marriage, together, and to hopefully fix anything that was wrong. But did it really make it worse in the long run?
When Jason and I started talking about coming to the ranch, we, of course, like I said, we're not perfect. We dealt with our own issues, and we were hoping that being out here at the ranch would strengthen our marriage and our relationship and our friendship. And it's been really hard. We've dealt with a lot in the past 100 days in every aspect of our relationship.
We've had to face just so many struggles. I just don't know if facing all these struggles made it worse.
And I don't know if being out here wasn't the right thing for us, and if it just pushed us even further apart.
So before Jaylena and I even got together, I was single for probably, I'd say single for almost 10 years. The longest relationship I ever had was maybe a month. And it was either me getting tired of the person or them getting tired of me. And I had left my hometown and I went to the big city, and I didn't know anyone, and I didn't know really how to, I didn't know how to cope, I guess. I don't know. I never could find anyone willing to stick around for longer than a month, or I would find a reason to break up with someone within a month. And I kind of gave up on looking for a relationship. It just never worked. It never happened, and I was okay with being single, and I told myself, I'm gonna be single, I'm not gonna have kids, I'm not gonna get married, and that's okay.
So when I met Jason, I was coming from a long-term relationship of almost 5 years, and it was a very toxic, unhealthy relationship, and because of it, I have a lot of insecurities. Being with Jason has taught me a lot about myself, and it's because of him that I truly feel like I'm a better person today. I remember the first day that we met like it was yesterday. Jason picked me up in our truck, and I remember he got out of the car and he gave me a hug, and it was kind of, you know, not awkward, but it was, we had never met each other in person before. And once the day got started, at the time, his account had been hacked, and so he didn't have much money because his account got hacked, which he has a history with. And we went to the Dallas Arboretum, and we walked around for hours and just talked. And even in the car when we were leaving, we sat in the parking lot and talked for a really long time.
And I remember walking around that day and thinking to myself, I have no money. My account got hacked because I had the absolute worst luck in the world when it comes to that. How in the world am I going to tell this girl? I don't even know if I could take her out to eat afterwards. How do I... Well, luckily, we didn't pay parking. We were supposed to pay parking, and I didn't. I just parked and saved me some money. So I think I was able to actually take her out to eat afterwards. But we literally did nothing but walk around and talk. And I just thought to myself, man, I've learned more from this girl in the few hours that we've been walking around than I have any girl that I dated for, in the last 10 years. And I just felt like I knew her from the beginning. And it was just one of those things that it just felt right.
It just felt right, like I knew him forever.
So pretty much since day one, Jaylena and I have just been together 24/7. We worked together, we shared a car together, we shared a bank account. If we went grocery shopping, we went grocery shopping together. If we went and ran errands, we did it together. If we went to work together, we did everything together, and we just never really had time apart from each other, which is amazing that we didn't want to just kill each other in the moment, but at the same time, we never had the opportunity to really miss each other. And, living with Jared, it was great because Jared helped break the ice, helped make it comfortable, but at the same time, we never had the time to ourselves. And, that's the good and bad, and it's the same thing with Jared. Jared was dating a girl at the time, and, he needed his space, we needed our space, and we didn't really know what to do. And then we bought land and a house together, and we started working on that, and it was a lot.
So we took on the 100-day challenge to come out here to the ranch, and we had high hopes, and we took on the challenge basically head on, and we worked and worked and worked, and I feel like maybe we lost sight of what was most important, and we weren't giving our marriage the time that we should have been. We weren't taking the time for each other. We were overworking ourselves on top of all of the lows that we were facing with these last 100 days. And we lost the goats. It started with Stainer passing away, and then the goats getting out, and we still haven't found them. Our bank account got hacked. We've been without power. We've been without water. We don't have hot water. We work almost the entire day in the heat, and it has been extremely stressful physically and mentally. Even in the beginning, we don't have service out here. We have no internet, and we had struggled a lot with trying to upload videos on YouTube and keeping up with the 100-day challenge on YouTube. And then even with the WeBoost, it's still a challenge to get the videos up every day. And we face new challenges every single day, and it's been so hard. So coming into this, already having our normal just day-to-day problems in our relationship and with each other, and then having everything else fall on top of that, just made it almost unbearable.
So in the end, you know, we had to really decide what was best for both of us, mentally, really, just kind of how much can one person really take. And so we talked it out, and Jaylena,
we decided that the best thing, or not even the best thing, the only thing we could think of is just to separate and go back to Dallas. Well, I'll go back to Dallas and stay with my sister.
And then I was gonna stay here. And Jaylena packed her stuff. You know, I talked to my parents, and you know, they were gonna help take care of the stuff around here while I was gone. And that night, because we were gonna leave in the morning, I just asked Jaylena, I said, is this what you want?
And when it came down to it, this isn't what either one of us want. We just didn't know what to do to fix it.
We've tried so many things. That was the whole point of coming down here to the ranch, was one, to do something good for the family and all that, but to hopefully bring us closer and hopefully show us that we can work together and work through these problems together. And unfortunately, so much happened, and we started to have resentment, you know, and that's not a good thing. And so we were just lost, and we were at the point where we literally said, I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what can fix this. I don't know if it can even be fixed.
We wound up talking for hours, and you know, there were tears, and I felt like my heart was broken. And in the end, we decided that
we couldn't give up. We had to
fight for each other. We have to fight for each other.
You know, they say you don't know what you have until it's gone. And she didn't leave, but her stuff was packed, and we were both already trying to accept the fact that we wouldn't have each other. And, you know, scenarios were just going through my head left and right about just day to day, the simplest things, waking up and, you know, Jaylena won't be there for us to do coffee at the Crockers. Going and check the mail, she won't be there with me. Going and buying groceries, or working here, or, you know, just our day-to-day life, my entire life changed. And in the blink of an eye, it was gone. Even though she was still sitting there, in my mind, she was gone, because that morning, or the next morning, we were going to wake up and leave. And I was going to take her back, and I was going to drive back down here without her.
As hard as everything has been for me, leaving and living without you would be harder.
And we both talked, and we said we could move on eventually. It's not the end of the world. We can live without each other. But I think we realized we need each other.
We don't want to live without each other.
And just putting this video out and telling you guys this is hard enough, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. It's something that needs to be done. So we decided just to put this video out there, and we're making ourselves vulnerable, putting our business literally for the world to see, which is the scariest thing in the world. Because if we weren't on YouTube, I would just not put it on social media. I wouldn't tell anyone. I would just bury this and never tell anyone. But I feel like we we owe it to you guys to be honest and real.
We don't want to like air out our dirty laundry, but we do share our lives with you. And yes, there are things that we'd like to keep private. We're not going to tell you our issues, but we want you guys to know that we are normal people dealing with normal things that everyone deals with. If this video can help at least one person or one couple and inspire them to keep fighting for the person that they love, then it was worth being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there for scrutiny and judgment. Then
it's worth it. It's not something we wanted to do. It's not something we ever wanted to go through, but the reality is so many people, everyone goes through this. It doesn't matter. There's no perfect relationship, and I think that's the thing that is just the absolute worst about YouTube, is so many people paint this picture of I live a perfect life. It's just so easy to paint this picture of a perfect world on the internet. You know, there's a lot of people, and you know, we'll just kind of throw ourselves out there in the homesteading genre of things. It's easy to grow food. It's easy to raise animals. It's this life that everyone loves, and it's the answer to all your problems. And that's what everyone thinks. That's what I thought when I first started watching all these homesteaders, and that life was so grand, and this was the answer to all my problems. And it would just be just this magical world that we can live in like the old times, you know.
But the truth is, it's hard. It's harder than living a normal life, a normal job, and a normal house or an apartment.
But in reality, this is reality, I think.
Yeah, and we want to be honest with you, and
we need to be honest with you, I think.
We just want to thank every single one of you who has reached out to us and poured love and positivity into us. And we are so close to being done with these 100 days, and then we start a new chapter in our lives, building our home and maybe even building a family. And we are so excited to share that journey with you, all of you.
Because I feel like, personally, I don't know if we'd be here without you guys. Not even YouTube, but just your awesome comments and love that you guys give us. It really helped us get through a lot of this together, and let us know that there's something bigger here. And I can't thank you guys enough for y'all's support and love. I really truly feel like, you know, a lot of y'all have saved our marriage. I really feel that way.
So we are sharing our story with you guys, and I hope that it helps at least one person. But for us, the biggest lesson I think we've learned through all of this is when you love somebody, you don't give up, and you keep fighting.
We're gonna make it, and we're gonna keep fighting for each other, and I think that's just the only thing that we can do, is just keep fighting.